Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I think the laptop that's going smashed and tons of damage next to it. I think I can see what they were getting at there, so I think that one wins it for me. But CJ Entus versus Team Alternate coming up next. It's Pharrell Lord. He's back. The 3K ELO man of Alternate and Kerp as well. Let's not forget he got 2.9K, didn't he, or something like that?
2.8, almost 9. I think.
Yeah,
I think
his heart wasn't in it. His heart wasn't in it. He didn't want 3.
Almost.
Either way, they are very high ELO players, but they're against CJ Entus, the kings of cheese. These guys will pull out strategies that you guys may not have watched unless you've been watching the OGM Winter, because OGM Winter is where these guys have been playing pretty strongly. There it is, Long Panda Kinch, Insect Dade, and Space Dade, the mid laner. Been playing some pretty impressive stuff. Insect, they took a game off, I think it was Zuby Frost. It was Zuby Frost. They beat them pretty strongly in the first game, but then they tried another bit of cheese that they saw Najin Saw do the day before. And it backfired on them. We don't know what to expect from this. I mean, they have literally every tactic that you guys have probably seen and more in their bags. And we're also expecting a Kha'Zix.
Yeah, that would be nice. You are expecting a Kha'Zix.
I'm expecting a Kha'Zix. I saw him practicing it, and the first question they asked the admins, can we have Kha'Zix?
Well, that's good. The first thing that everybody needs to keep in mind about the Koreans, though, is that they came up with the whole idea of this push hard, push all the time, always take towers no matter what.
No, actually, you're wrong.
Well, the Taiwanese... WE or
WE started the ball rolling.
I think the Korean,
the Asian meta came up with this, and the Koreans, I think, maybe
narrow it down into one region. Why not?
Yeah, whatever. My point is that Alternate may not be prepared for quite this amount of pressure here, and I think we're going to get a graphic right now actually showing us the team.
Alternate, obviously, they're a team that you've played with. I wouldn't say played with, but you know all these guys from solo queue. You come up against them all so often. I mean, it's a strong team. Is that the way the team could work?
I will say like Alternate is most likely like a solo queue team. It sounds weird, probably it sounds not really correct, but it's true. Like they are individually really high skill players, all of them. We have Lord, who I never saw him losing a lane in solo queue. We have Kerp, who I never saw him not carrying a game, even losing, but carrying all the games in solo queue. We have Cottons, an amazing jungler in solo queue, like carrying all the games in solo queue, and we have Medalx and now San. We have to point that San is playing for them as sub, because he's not the main lineup. He's not in the main lineup. They have another support called Jerry. Jerry. The Swedish support was subbing for CLGU on MLG. And I will say like they are pretty much like a solo queue team, still really high skill team. But CG Entus, they have something special. It's true that we were talking about the Korean meta style, the Korean like pushing style, but they are completely different. They try to do some kind of strategics like crazy strats. Like CLG call it the cheesy strats, we say. And it could work sometimes, but sometimes it can be like horrible for you.
Yeah, it could
it's like a coin. It's like a coin. You can throw the coin and maybe it works like perfectly and you destroy them. And maybe it doesn't
and that's exactly what backfired on them. They tried the strat. They saw Najin Saw do it one day. They thought we can do that the next day, and it backfired. I don't even think they got a single kill in the game.
And that was exactly the point I was trying to make. Because of either the Korean or Asian hard push meta, or because of the cheese that you come up with, how do you react to cheese? You have to react as a team. You have to say, oh, okay, they're doing this and this and this, so we need to adjust these and these aspects in our play as a team. And that, I think, could be the downfall of Alternate, because they do have these mechanically super strong people, but can they pull it together as a team, and as a team adapt and react to a cheese that they've never seen before?
And that's it. I mean, like you say, Derp, I was nearly going Kerp carries games, Pharrell carries games, but these are solo games. These are games that are not so coordinated as full-on teams on the comms. And, CJ Entus, they've come up against the best in the world. They have played the best in the world. All of the top Korean teams. They've even played, obviously, the Europeans. They were in the OGN summer beforehand. These are the team that's been around for a while. They've tried all sorts. But honestly, these guys, I'm interested to see what they're going to come out with. We saw a couple of crazy things yesterday from SK Telecom. We saw some different lanes. Evelyn versus Kha'Zix top, wasn't it? Well, we saw a Kha'Zix versus Olaf, not Olaf, it was Shinzao. top lane. So what are we expecting this time? Picks and bans are getting underway. What do we think? I mean, really, they're just going to go with, I guess, just checking straight their solo queue and just going, okay, we'll just bone
I will say CG Entus is gonna probably to ban this for a Lord.
You got to think
he's,
Jax maybe.
He's the famous player on Alternate, and he's gonna get like all the bans. Probably he will get like we see Orianna. Probably he will get Diana, and probably we'll see another like TF or an Evia.
Yeah.
We'll probably see as the third ban.
Vladimir banner is very interesting. Do you know enough about CJ Entus to say if that's aimed at anyone?
The top laner did play it, Long Panda. He played it. Actually, to be fair, he got absolutely. He was the poor soul that was getting destroyed by Magnoon in the top lane.
Oh,
it was Long Panda.
Actually, I think like all the Korean. I mean, the Korean. They all play Vladimir. It's like probably one of the best champions, even for mid lane, even for top lane. They play both lanes. So it's like one of the favorite champions for the Korean. And we see a ban of Olaf. Kerb is probably his favorite champ is Olaf. And Olaf, I will say Olaf in top lane is one of the champions you can run against everything. He can work against everything. He's super strong top lane.
The true damage and everything. And the Blitzcrank ban is interesting to me as well, since we did talk about the fact that Alternate are coming in this. There's the Ranger ban. The Alternate are coming in this with a sub for the support, so maybe the sub doesn't feel confident enough to first pick and play that Blitzcrank, or maybe he doesn't feel confident enough to dodge the Blitzcrank hooks. And a Lee Sin first pick. Lee, how do you feel about that?
You got to ban Lee Sin every time. There's just.
But then we have Diana open.
We do have Diana open, and that could get. Oh, Twisted Fate
and
was
they
also.
got Twisted Fate. That's really strange.
I mean, that's for Relinor. He's known for Twisted Fate.
Yeah,
still,
I think
Diana is
they're
a
trying to
counter.
take it away.
Diana is a completely counter to Twisted Fate.
So you expect the Diana pick up from Alternate now?
Yes. And I know Forlord play Diana really well. So I really expect that Diana pick from them. And also we have to talk about that Lee Sin pick. Oh, Evelyn.
Evelyn does a similar thing to Twisted Fate, that she can roam and impact other lanes.
Burst Twisted Fate down so quickly as well.
That is another thing, yeah, that's true.
So Ezreal being locked in as well. So bottom lane is secure. I guess they're leaving their support open. They know they're going to be up against the Zyra. What are we expecting? Is potentially support going to come out? They're going to leave the top lane to the last minute?
I will say as AD, you need some escapability against Evelyn. If not, she can snowball really much on bottom lane. So probably we'll see a Corki or even Caitlyn is great. Caitlyn is probably...
Wasn't CGN's the team that ran a support TF mid lane with Caitlyn?
They ran all sorts.
I think I heard that one in particular.
Support what?
Support TF with a Caitlyn in mid lane. That's something that I think I read earlier today when I was looking into them.
They played 2v1 mid a lot.
Yeah.
To shut down that kind of champion like Evelyn. But Evelyn is a melee champion. She needs to farm. And if you put 2v1 mid, probably she's not going to farm that much.
Interesting, but for now let's assume it's going to be a TF mid and a Caitlyn Zyra bot lane. That would be the sane assumption.
Caitlyn Zyra is really strong against Evelyn because you can trap everything. Like you will have Caitlyn and Zyra double you on every brush, so Evelyn cannot gank that much on that lane.
Right. So very, very standard picks here, Lulu with support and Irelia in the top lane. And that's going to go to... it's going to be a Malphite. What do you feel would be the better pick here?
Oh, he's been locked in.
I would think both picks were fine. Evan Irelia, Evan Malphite. Both are fine.
So what are you going to pick against it? Oh, Singed.
Korean Singed.
Oh, yeah.
That's something you don't really want to see.
That's scary. Long Panda then going to be...
And sadly, I saw it.
The Ghost Ignite Singed. Oh, yes. I can already hear the yakety sax playing in my ears.
I can think of many players that had nightmares about Shy's Singed, certainly at the Season 2 World Finals. So there are your teams locked in. Pretty obscure, some of the lanes. But what are we expecting here, RNA? What are you thinking between these two? Obviously, you talked about Freljord already. How do we think this top lane is going to go? Kerp versus Long Panda.
I think it will be really early domination from Alternate because they have like Evelyn probably going... I saw Forlord running mobility boots, rushing mobility boots on Evelyn, and then you have the teleport of Malphite. So mainly like from level like 1 till level 8, 7, Alternate will need to dominate. Because also we have Singed, is not really good early game hero. Cho'Gath is good early game, it's fine, but Caitlyn is not really good early game hero as well. So we have Well, actually, Caitlyn is good early game here. I don't know what I'm talking about. He's bad mid lane, sorry. Mid game here. So there we have, like, the early game. I will say Alternate has all the chances. Only problem will be TF. TF can really stop that early game domination. So I will say from pick and bans, I will be cheering for CGA Entus. I think they have better late game and better comp.
I think I'm with him here. The only thing that I can possibly see turning this around is that two heroes, Team Alternate, both Fernlord and Kerb, have the opportunity to make their impact felt in the entire game with mobility and with teleport, of course. So if Alternate win, it's because of these two.
Well, we shall see, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get over to our commentary team. It is going to be Joe Meller and Jason But I love you.
Alternate versus CJ Entus. First game for both of these teams in Group B of the Intel Extreme Masters Cologne. Alternate on the blue side. What are you expecting to see? Anything early on here, Jason?
Well, actually, yes, because they're invading, Joe. We're going to see something early on.
Captain Obvious.
Actually, he's going to catch Sentry. Does have Ghost, doesn't have anything else to go away besides that. But it doesn't look like they're actually going to commit to it. But I'm actually really curious to see Fernlord's Evelyn, because every game we've casted of him that I can think of in my head has been a Twisted Fate or an Ahri, or an Orianna. I haven't seen him besides those three champions. And I really see what Alternate can bring, because we didn't, we saw them fortunately get dropped out of EPS, but they are still a good team. When they reformed, they were a really good team, and this is their chance to really get their name out there.
Well, it looks like that little invade was just to get that ward down over by the red buff. And maybe then not any further action from Alternate side of things. Obviously, they know that CJ Entus have had plenty of time now to react to that one. See Caitlyn already up on this middle side of things. And it looks like CJ will be starting off here on the Wraith side. Or is Cho'Gath going to go down? No, looks more like a Wolf start for him. On the other side of things, Lee Sin starting out, pretty standard start for him, round about these Wraiths. So, a little bit of back history. When we think back to when Navi played in OGN the Champions, they won one game in that tournament, Jason, and it was against CJ Entus. And Sand and Cottonex were both part of that team.
Yeah, so they're going to have a little bit of an information advantage. Obviously, though, I mean, with the time, the meta changes, the players change a little bit. And well, I guess we'll just find out in about 30 minutes to see who wins this game. But one thing, Joe, that I wanted to point out is that Kerp's running teleport. And that's a really interesting thing to run. Yeah, you're against a Twisted Fate. You kind of want to see the mid lane go with the teleport just to catch up. But we're going to see some teleport ultimates coming in from him that could really feed and really snowball a lane. And Joe, which team do you think has this game?
Honestly, I wrote on Twitter before this one, it's a really hard one to call, in my opinion. Yeah. I'm not sure how Alternate are really going to come into this one. As Arne rightly pointed out, these guys are pretty damn strong in terms of their solo queue ability, let's call it. They have played well as a team, that's definitely for sure, but I'm not sure how strong they're going to be against CJ Entus.
Well, we do have a lane switch for Alternate. They will be putting their AD carry in support, and Kerp, actually, Malphite took their own blue buff and is heading down to the bot lane to 1v2 the Zyra and Caitlyn combo. So he's going to have that extra mana to actually see us under turret with that ground slam, with that seismic shard. And this is actually a really interesting play. I mean, it's because Kerp is level 2. He's not really far behind in CS or in experience in any way. He's actually ahead of Space at the moment, so he should be decently fine, especially with those cloth armor and 5 pots. But that...
It's not going to last long, though.
Yeah, not going to last long at all. With Caitlyn's auto attack range is very hard. And I was asking you in the little delay period we had, Joe, the Zyra Grasping Roots mixed in with the Caitlyn trap. And we were talking about how if you put the Caitlyn trap down at the exact same time the Grasping Roots comes down, you can do exactly what you see right there. Kerp getting double trapped, being unable to move, and have a hard time for him to have that really high mobility, though. When he gets 6, obviously, but ultimately going to be very useful for him.
Yeah, you got to be pretty quick on that combo to really land it in there. It's not quite as easy as the whole Taric Caitlyn combo for doing something like that. As we see once again, Kerp getting rooted up. I mean, with the fact that he's got that seismic shard, he's going to have an easier time, in my opinion, than Singed in this top lane. Certainly in the early levels of things as well. Just interested to see what they go for here, because we see naturally when these 2v1 lanes come in, we see ganks coming in pretty much all the time. We saw it at IPL, which most teams really were slow on counting here. San is going to get pulled over. There's the knockup coming in as well, but can they finish off? That San going very low, and there is first blood coming out for Singe. Insect is all over the place there. I'm not sure really what he was doing. to be honest, I'm not sure why he was walking this way whatsoever. But, well, that's what happened to him. So, now, bad news at the start of things, really, for Insect. But they did manage to get that first blood onto Singe, which will certainly help him out, you know, get up to that level of tankiness that he wants to be in for this 2v1 lane.
I don't know. I really give the advantage actually to Alton off of that. Yeah, they got CJ just got first blood, but Metalix has a double buff now.
Oh, in the middle there, we have seen Lord actually may just die here. The minions hitting him as well. And there's the final minion coming in. The Ignite had already finished off. And that will bring us back quickly to 2-2. So, we see Singe with a kill there. We see Evelyn with a kill, we see Ezreal, and we see Twisted Fate with one. So those kills spread out nicely. Alternate gonna be taking down the first tower of the game. Second one might not be too far behind though, because Space and Kinch are pushing quite heavily on this bottom lane. But look at Kerp, he's up to level 5 already. And to be honest with you, if they try and challenge him under this tower, he's gonna be a bit of a menace once he gets that unstoppable force in his arsenal. But they are gonna be obviously bringing this this double lane, the AD carry and support, back towards that bottom lane to stop anything really big going off that. What have we seen from this first round of going back to bite? Well, a GP10 item there, the Heart of Gold on Cho'Gath, plus the double Doran's ring coming out for Twisted Fate. Other side, Sorcerer Shoes for Lord. No real surprise going towards that full penetration build that we're seeing a lot these days out of the likes of Evelyn, out of the likes of Katarina as well. That's Lord there just popping his W, running up towards Dade, who he's going to be scared of the power of Lord, that's for sure.
Yeah, and he's really keeping him off his creeps. As you see here, he's going to force him from on his turret, which lets Lord roam around if he does want to. I mean, the CS lead, it is 6. We do have Lord, like you saw before, got that kill, and he is trying to harass down Dade right there. But still, I mean, he's not 6 yet, and that's when Twisted Fate really becomes extremely scary. You know, popping the gank entry lane. Singe though on the top lane, still farming away. Has a little bit behind in CS though, has that kill, and as you see in the bot lane, as we switch the camera around, Metalix, I mean, if he does Arcane Shift in, he'll easily win in a fight against Space. Now we do have Lee Sin. Oh, Konek's gonna get caught here.
Oh, this is bad knockup, plus the root coming down. Konek's in trouble. He's gonna finish off there from the Ignite. Lord actually using his ultimate in that situation, but I'm not sure it's enough to get away. Knockup though won't land, and with that W popped, he manages to escape quite lightly from that one. Long Panda doing what Singe does best in this top lane, which is just going straight around those creeps, farming them up as much as he can. Doesn't even care there that his poison's on. He's actually gonna flip Kerp out. Bit of damage from the poison coming in as well. But we are in a 3-2 lead in kills for the Korean side of CJ Entus. Just, again, have to keep a real eye on this middle lane. As Lord certainly will just turn on the pressure as soon as that ultimate and the Ignite is available, which won't be taking too long. His Ignite is almost up and his ultimate approaching halfway of its cooldown as well. And there we see Lord again going in heavily onto Twisted Fate. Just wants to keep him away from the lane as much as he possibly can. Early CS 48-44 between the two AD carries, 32-37 in that middle lane. Top lane Malphite got a nice advantage there, approaching that 10 CS lead at 41-42. He just picked himself up that Philostone, plus a cloth armor in there as well. Singe, Cage's lucky pick, plus the Sapphire Crystal as well for that extra mana.
Yeah, most likely going into Catalyst. Not sure if that will be at Banshees or into a Rod of Ages, but I love what Lord's doing in the mid lane. Every time he sees Dade actually use... Oh, where is that actually happening?
Sand down at the bottom, getting quite low here. Space needs to watch out as well there. Metalex just putting that Ignite on down to him. I think more to stop him chasing in for that kill on towards Sand. Space. It's still not quite level 6 to get that ulti off here. And we are seeing Kotenex now moving in towards the jungle. Kerp is there for Lord coming around the side. There's the unstoppable force. Twisted Fate goes down. Insect in trouble as well as he gets the Ignite down onto him. Can he escape this one though? He's trying to dodge around, miss any force alternate to miss any skill shots, but in the end didn't matter too much. And that will be 2 kills mopped up for Alternate. That'll put them back in the lead in gold, back in the lead in kills. And now they're going to be going for a 8.5-minute dragon.
That was so unfortunate for Insect there, not to mention Dade, but Insect, his flash was up in about 2 seconds when that gank actually came in, so he wasn't able to get away. We do have Singe farming the top, but like you're saying, first dragon of the game going to be taken out at 8:37. And seeing the Alternate, a nice little bit of a gold lead as you see, Alex hitting pretty much nothing there. But that teleport, like we were talking about before, I mean, that is so devastating on a Malphite combining with your ultimate, though. I don't believe he actually did teleport into there. And Long Panda's still trying to get this turret down, auto-attacking a little bit, and you can't really let Singe farm, because Joe, I know he's your favorite top lane, and you just can't let him do that. He's your favorite
That's
ever.
it. That's just it. He is my favorite. I am a very big fan of Singe, that's for sure. And yeah, he's just doing exactly what Singe does best. Go past the turret, pick up the CS as you go, and put the pressure down as you continue to push that one through. They've managed to save this middle turret out there, though, alternate, but it has taken a lot of damage. So we'll maybe see that one go down in the next couple of minutes. Cotnex here coming down just to give a bit of support to this bottom lane and make sure that that wave of minions doesn't go to waste. Middle lane, Cho'Gath was just covering off for Twisted Fate. For Ellenlord now back into that one. The blue buff is actually up on the alternate side of things, which you'd expect will be going over to for Ellenlord here as soon as they get involved and get that one started.
Look at the ward coverage. I'm a little bit surprised out of Ulti. They have no ward spotting if Dade leaves the lane and tries to ulti into bottom or ulti into top. And that's kind of something you never really want to let a TF do. You typically see the ward in the lane pretty deep. But Frontler going for his blue here, going to help him harass that much harder against Dade there. He has that flash and ignite up still. Or sorry, for Dade. And has the ultimate up as well. He hasn't actually used it once this game, if I'm not mistaken.
No, he hasn't.
And that's the thing about TF. I mean, Frownlord, if anyone knows TF, it's him. Since he's that, high CLO.
We are going to be seeing that ultimate coming down, though, from Twisted Fate. There is the first kill. Second one will follow. It's Cho'Gath that picks that one up, and that's the danger. I mean, you've got the knock-up out of Cho'Gath. You've got the knock-up out of the ultimate of Zyra. You've got the trap to keep him in position after that. Then you've got the stun cards of Twisted Fate when he comes down as well. So a big, big combo that if you get caught out on, if you're not ready for that one, you are going to be in a lot of danger, and that will give CJ Entus again the kill lead. So swinging back and forth on that front. They are 1,300 gold currently in the lead, and they may have this bottom turret away now as well. They're going to leave it here for these minions to finish off, but Metalex's going to try and stop this one from happening, but with that siege minion there, should be enough to just finish it off. There we go, just about done. And that will bring us to 2-1. CJ Entus got the turret lead.
Not looking too good for Alternate at the moment. They have, I'm trying to look at late game composition. That Malphite ultimate is so big for Alternate. If they can't land it correctly, it's going to cause a lot of problems. Mixed in with that Lulu knockup, it's going to be very devastating to the team. But the other team is so tanky with that Singe and Cho'Gath. You're just able to run past the entire enemy team. They're going to be focused down. Singe, obviously, as we all know him, just does whatever he pleases, running in circles around the enemy team. But still, I mean, how are they going to get into TF and Caitlyn and Zyra if if the Malphite ultimate misses? And it's pretty much up to Frownlord to follow up with the slow from his ultimate. How Kerp teleporting on the bot lane.
Yeah, we are going to see him coming in space now on trouble and underneath his turret. That's not even a contest. 4 versus 1. That one being Caitlyn for a little while at least until she went down, and now they're going to be looking to even this turret score up. There are 4 of them there. As we said, Lulu actually is just going to be headed back there for a bit of shopping time, and that will be the second turret of the game and brings us back to a 500-600 gold difference. CJ Entus, though, are currently pushing out this mid lane, and they've got 2 men there. Not sure that they'll be able to really get the turret down, especially with Evelyn coming back over to stop that one from happening, but damage here, damage there usually leads to something some point down the road.
Yeah, and you definitely don't want to give up that mid turret, as we always talk about, Joe. The map control it gives you is insane, especially when you're a TF. If you can take that mid turret down, that leaves you so free to roam around. And we do see 2 pink wards being invested into that middle lane. Dade doesn't want to let Frownlord roam around and actually get out of the lane stealthed up. Trying to protect his other lanes, though. He still hasn't really been around the map too much with his ultimate. Was in the bot lane gank, as you saw there, picking up those 2 kills. But CS, I mean, overall, it's pretty even. It's pretty much exactly the same, except in the jungle with that 30 CS difference in favor of Cho'Gath with his 2 GP10s. Gonna have a lot of gold rolling in, sitting at 4,400 total compared to the 3,600 total of Cotnex.
See their space just racking up a bit more of a total. For Ellenlord now coming down into this bottom lane. Well, unluckily for him, everyone's gone. He'll be happy just to have that extra bit of farm and then probably head straight back in towards that middle lane where Dade is just finishing off his wave of minions. Dragon will be coming up 16:37, so still a good 3.5 minutes to go for that one. Blue buff going to be gifted over here on towards Twisted Fate. And top lane, Singe, you know, he has been pushing quite a lot. And there is the ultimate coming out. Oh, and he's managed to steal it. Brilliant stuff from Metalex there. Actually, they didn't have a ward in position whatsoever, right? So that was just done on feeling. Nicely done from Metalex.
They had the timing down around because they did check it once they got that double kill on the Dade and onto Insect. But CJ is just trying to go for a push on the mid lane there, gonna back out. And with space, with Caitlyn, you have the ability to hit this towers from such a long range. All you have to really worry about is Kerp with that ultimate gonna catch you, or gonna potentially be able to catch you, as we do have him heading down. Does have the ultimate available, and it actually is building into the Abyssal Scepter to help with Singe's damage.
See there, pink ward being put down by CJ Entus. That's just to give that vision to Evelyn when she's around. And our alternate actually going to go for a turret here. Singed up in this top side of the river. Did just get hit, but after all, he's singed. He'll quite happily take a few hits and just run away because, well, like I said, he's singed. That's what he does. Alternate here are going to be bunching up once again in the middle. A little bit early for that dragon. It's still got 2 minutes, 20 seconds until that one comes up, but they certainly don't want to be losing this middle tower. We've talked about that before and how important it's going to be in this early to mid-game stage to have up there. As Metalix actually going to get hit here with the knock-up ultimate. Comes out of Kaylin. Long Panda is there as well. And it looks like they may just give up this middle turret without anything, as we do see the unstoppable force comes down. Kurt's going to be flung around. He's finally going to die. Actually, he didn't use his unstoppable force. He did it there right at the end, which was just far too late. The crowd control was too much for him, though. And that will be a 1-for-0 exchange. They're going to turn in now towards Lord. That is the pink ward, the power of that pink ward coming in as well. And the CC is just ridiculously strong, as there's a flash coming down as well. Can they finish off? Sand going low. The root, actually, of Kinch will pick up that kill for him. And that surely now will finally be that middle tower going down after picking up 3 kills, losing none. They're going to drop down towards the dragon, which is now up. So our timer of 16:37 was pretty far off of that one. So hopefully we get it right next time. Hint, hint. But Dragon being started here, not really much, or not anything really that they can do about it.
Your pet peeve, we're seeing mid lane actually be pushed out of ultimate right now. And that last team fight was such a great play out of Dottie. I don't know if you caught it, but he popped that ultimate just to see where Lord was. And he saw him coming around from the, we're at the Wraith camp. Actually stunned him with a gold card over the wall just to prevent him from getting in there, because with that W movement speed, he could have turned that fight completely around. Great play out of him. We're going to see Lord pick up his own blue here. And we are even in Dragons to 1-1 now.
So that ain't gonna go back. Let's have a look at the gold that they currently sat on. 900 for him to spend as he heads back off, and he's gonna finish it off those sorcerer's shoes. We've got the haunting guys already out here of Evelyn. Abyssal set to done for Cho'Gath. That's gonna be a nice item for him to have. In terms of Long Panda, got that Negatron cloak in there. Building a little bit half here, half there, to be honest, for the start of this one, but well, he's singed. He's allowed to do that.
That's a satisfying sound as well, Joe. Besides Jax, just hearing the psst and then hearing the cling, cling, cling of money. Not bad. But the main thing from
getting stunned up here. Actually will flash away. Pops a W. Should be able to escape that one. The rest of the team actually coming around Kurt there. Did get rooted and stunned afterwards. Well, Lord just about living at the end of that one. Real close stuff, though.
Yeah, that ultimate just saved his life completely. Hit as many targets as he possibly could. Gave him that shield. Survived that feast. Got away. So pretty much no kills being shared there. But Singe in the top lane still just farming away. Trying to keep his CS as high as possible. Going to be going into that Banshee's Veil. Even looks like a revolver on top of that. Just get a little bit of life still, or spell vamp. And she does pick it up. So Singe going to be very scary. I mean, you really underestimate the damage he can do if he, stays alive long enough in a team fight running around you.
There's the extra bit of cash from the Wraith being picked up by Ezreal. AD carry is still pretty much bang even on the creep score. So good for both sides. You've got 6 assists on Caitlyn, being a bit of an assist king in this game so far.
We saw with Meet Your Makers that AD carry had all the assists and no kills pretty much through the entire game.
Okay, yeah. And that's at 1-0-1, obviously, on Ezreal. Got the pickaxe and that BF sword in there. So looking like he's headed up straight towards that Infinity Edge, which we have been seeing a lot more common on Ezreal's, going for that, that build rather than the more standard Trinity Force straight off the bat. And now Lord hanging around the side. It's never a good sign for the opposition team when you've got an Evelyn just hanging around there waiting to get in on the action. But Alternate may have done enough here to force them away and take down this middle turret. That would be their 3rd of the game and will leave us tied up as well. So all outer turrets on both sides of this map are still down. But Jason, as we move in towards that mid game and getting into the late game, who do you think's got the stronger comp for this one?
I would say Alternate. You heard during the expert desk that Caitlyn kind of falls off mid game very early on, very strong. Mid game kind of weak, but late game can get that power back. And there's a lot of tankiness on CJ Entus, but you have a lot of damage out of Alternate, a lot of control with Kerp, with Cotnex, and with Sand. I really have to give it to them. What about you?
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, they've got those kind of ultimates to win the game, but they also have to hit them.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like something that comes very simply. It's going to be a lot about positioning, making sure that that unstoppable force comes in, the Ezreal ultimate going over the top, for Lord getting his ultimate in there as well. But if they manage to string everything together, which they're certainly a team of high-skilled players who can do that, then it's going to be dangerous times for CJ Entus. But it looks like they, again, trying to force some pressure on towards this inner turret in the middle. Kerp, does he have that ultimate? Yes, he does. Lord has his as well. Metalex just use his to clear out that minion wave, though.
We could see an engage coming here very soon. We have TF pushing that bot lane right now. Also needs to do something. They can't let that bot lane keep pushing. Yep, they do send Lord down there to deal with it. And Kerp, yeah, he had the ultimate up. They could have engaged there. But they're just a little bit worried. They don't want to really throw the game right now since they are down a little bit of gold. Sitting at almost actually over 4,000. But CJ Entus, they're making a push on that mid tower. They're not being punished for it in any way.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they can do with that Evelynn down on the bottom side. They're actually focusing in onto Long Panda. Kick used there out of Lee Sin's trying to get him away. There is the unstoppable force. They're coming in. Here comes Twisted Fate. Zyra ulti goes down. Kerp is dead. Cottonix getting thrown into the air. But Lord in the middle. He's going to die. He picked up Zyra. That was a 2-for-1, but they're not finished. Metalex goes down. The AD carry picked off there at the end of the fight. That is the Inno turret going down, and they may just have an inhibitor turret as well.
Man, supports today, they're the MVP of every game so far. That was an amazing Zyra ultimate. Caught Lord, knocked him up. It caught, I believe it caught Metalex as well in that. And now they're going to get inhibitor turret off of it and an inhibitor. And this gives them such a good advantage in this game.
Yeah.
Having that inhibitor down, they can easily force fights at Dragon, or sorry, not Dragon, Baron. And I mean, just with that 3-for-1, they shouldn't really be afraid of team fighting anymore.
And that can really be the fight that tips the balance in this game, really to be honest with you. The guys over on the expert desk might be having a look at a little bit later on. But that leaves us at 5-3 in turrets, 34.7 to 27.7. So a nice little 7,000 gold lead coming out for CJ. Let's have a look at their gold. Yeah, they've got a lot to spend. Over 1,500, and everyone for Lord got 2,300, apart from Zyra, who obviously died and spent up in that last time. We can see Negatron cloaks all over the place.
Yeah, completely destroys for Lord. I mean, that's their main damage out of him at the moment. With that ultimate to really, they'll take one down, pop that W again, gets that reset, and keep going. Taking him out of the game, you're dependent on Malphite with the Abyssal Scepter, not going to be doing too much damage. And then the Ezreal, who has Infinity's Edge, needs to be able to stay alive long enough in these fights to do damage, and he's currently not because of the CC that Entus is putting out on him.
I saw one wild card there, almost stripping half of Sand's health away. That's how strong they're going to be from that one. Metalex also taking a good chunk of damage. And CJ look like they're going to be saving this turret out, at least for now. But Dragon is going to be coming up here very shortly. And there it is. And this is going to be an alternate Dragon because CJ, well, they're pretty much nowhere near it. They've got 2 men going back. And they don't have vision of that area either. And that will give alternate something to cling on to here. I mean, a Dragon here and there can really help you come back into a game like this. And now Long Panda could be in trouble. But again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this is the kind of thing that I have in my head as well when I'm playing Singed. You just think, I'm singed, it's fine, I can take some damage, and I'm just going to run in there, fling them back, because we are going to see Kerp now taking a lot of damage. Will they be able to finish him off? Yes, they will. It's Singed that gets it at the end of the day, and there is Long Panda, sorry, Dade, actually teleporting himself into the back of them. Can he get the stun card down, flash away from Metalex? Well, that's again another 2-for-0, and CJ, they're just going straight down the middle from this one. Who cares about the top and bottom lane?
That was the second time this game we saw Kerp get shut down with Ivan using his ultimate. They're locking him down. They're bursting him down before anything else can happen because he is their initiate. He's the strongest point of their team to get to win these team fights. But yeah, with these super minions, they should be able to win this. 10 seconds left on Cottonix.
Oh, they've managed to get Metalex there. And the ultimate is going to pick Sand into the air as well. For Lord coming around the side. Looks like CJ may want to back away. There's the unstoppable force coming in. Dade goes down, shut down by Lord, who's also taking a lot of damage with the focus. Not brilliant here out of CJ. Long Panda going low, but he's Singed and he's not dead just yet, running away with that poison trail going. Another knockup comes in. Caitlyn with a Piltover. Peacemaker comes down. Cottonix tried to get in on towards Singed, but that will be a double kill. Singed survives once again, and now he's going to run straight through and try and get in onto Sandy, who's actually blocked by the minions there for quite a while. This second Nexus turret is going to fall in 16 seconds till the AD carry comes in. There is Sand being rooted. They're going to start focusing down on this Nexus. Kerp coming into the middle of them. He's probably going to die before they manage to do anything out of that one. But CJ Entus focusing right in on towards the Nexus. They're going to take it down and win the game in 23 minutes, 50 seconds here. 16-7 kills. Fantastic performance, ignoring those the top and the bottom lane and just going for the win straight through the middle with that kill advantage.
Yeah, really surprised. I mean, the game was in Ultimate's favor early on, but they came back with those team fights, with the mistakes that Ultimate was making with mostly Curve, unfortunately. Those ultimates, he couldn't get them off in time, ended up dying there, but CJ Entus, I mean, looking pretty strong. We didn't see really any cheese coming out of him. I don't want to analyze the game, too much, since we do have people for that. But the Force of Nature on Cho'Gath, you haven't seen that item in forever. Kind of happy to see it here. And the magic is just, where's the armor? They don't have any. They don't need to because, unfortunately, Melix just didn't have the damage he needed yet. He didn't have the items, and they were just preparing for that Forellan Lord. And in that last fight, Caitlyn wasn't even touched.
Yeah,
I mean,
not touched at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw how low Singed went, which showed you how much they focused Singed, which you've almost forced to do it a little bit because he's just running around and constantly poisoning you, flinging out the target that he wants. So you're almost forced to do something to Singed to at least force him away. But by the time they spent all that time trying to get him down there. I mean, he's got that Negatron cloak in there. He's got that Rod of Age as well, so he's pretty tanky. That's a lot of time spent trying to pick him off. He survives in the end anyway, and then they managed to take out another 3 with a counter push from Alto, which I think was their last hope anyway. I mean, if they'd not have gone for that one, they probably would have lost it outright anyway. But a good, strong performance. CJ Entus going to be tied at the top of the group with Meet Your Makers at 1-1. I'm just trying to bring up our list of games here and figure out exactly which is our next one, Jason, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it might just be that top of the table clash. Oh, no, it's not. Meet Your Makers versus Alternate coming up next.
That's the next one.
Damn it. That game will be actually after CJ versus CLGU. Then we'll have Meet Your Makers versus CJ and CLGU and Alternate going on at the same time as the final game today. Obviously, we have to do that to make sure there's no funny business in terms of winning or losing games to go through into the next round. But that's enough blabbering from us. We're going to throw it over to the expert desk. Number 1, to analyze the game, and number 2, to see which cool pose they're going to throw at us this time.
We only do cool poses for Zoe normally.
Yeah.
But anyway, pretty convincing win at the end there. Kind of how we expected it to go out. And we got a couple of replays that we want to show you guys, because there was a few moments of pretty good skill involved there. And really anticipation is the main thing. So the first one, if we can get over to the replays, it's at 6:15 we saw it. And it was really down the bottom lane, actually.
We see Forelord, at this moment, he was visible. He wasn't invisible at this moment, and he was trying to move bottom lane to a gank. And they saw him. At that moment, Cho'Gath, we can point on Cho'Gath, he was teleporting, but they call it, and he went back. And he was waiting for Lee Sin. And right after Lee Sin appears, he was just destroyed. Evelynn could do anything from that. It was just perfect combination, like, hey, Evelynn is moving bottom. Let's kill her. And Lee Sin appeared before her. So it was like the Backsplat.
The Backsplat came in.
The Backsplat came in.
That's
destroys our replay love.
No pixel Backsplat.
It's a tournament realm only thing, but yeah, that's what you get with 0-second replay delays. Sometimes we still get that little thing. So unfortunately, we can't show you the rest. But
hey, it wasn't during the game. Trust me, I've had worse.
It's true. Have you really?
I'm pretty sure
Actually,
there's been a few other games.
Let's talk how won the game. I mean, at that moment, they get 1 kill, but probably the most important moment won in bottom lane. It was Lee Sin ganking bottom, Cho'Gath counter gang, and at that moment, TF counter gang as well, and get a double kill in bottom lane. That was really important for CG Entus. At that moment, they were even, they were equal, but at that moment, they stand and get the superiority and get the leader of the game. And then there was a team fight on mid lane, was really, really important team fight where they were getting pushed, alternate, on the second tower of mid lane. And at one point, Curb tried to get Caitlyn because she was completely out of position. And in terms of like milliseconds, Caitlyn managed to flash away and just keep hitting Malphite.
As soon as the Unstoppable Force came on,
exactly.
he was gone.
Sorry, the Malphite ultimate. She flashed away and they just destroy them. And
it would have been better if we'd have
kills.
showed you on screen, but we have this lovely Spanish player explaining to you in words.
He can paint it to you in
He can
words.
paint it in words. In English, not Spanish, though. He could do it in Spanish to you if he wanted to. But
I can.
He can. I'd rather he didn't, because I probably wouldn't know what you're saying.
But could be fun for the Spanish community.
The Spanish community would absolutely love
There
it.
is a Spanish stream, I think. So.
I'm not sure the German community
I
would be
think
too
the
pleased.
Spanish community is watching for me. You know, you know what I mean.
yeah, of course
You
they
know
would.
what I mean.
Every one of them. Every one of them.
Yeah, we couldn't get Peke or Ocelot, so we got our own.
Wow. Wow, man. There you go. See, he's warmed up now. He's ready to go.
I'm warmed up. I'm really hot. is
He's
what I am.
Trundle.
But
He's my Trundle.
Yep.
there was also, there's the Blue Steel ulti as ultimate. It was nicely done.
Yeah, it was
but
really nice by Ezreal.
Neplex, but there was so many back and forth. There was a great 3-0 tower fight for CJ Entus, though, but they were always. You always felt they were in control, really, didn't they, CJ Entus? So CJ Entus looking strong here. They have picked up a win, so that's one for them, one for Meet Your Makers. Next game will be Meet Your Makers versus Alternate. Alternate?
Alternate?
Well, technically it is the right word, but you call them alternate.
It's a German mail order company for computer parts mostly. I've bought many computers there in my youth.
Thank you very much for the breakdown of the
Yeah,
sponsor.
Thank you for the information.
That's-
See,
yeah.
we love that. We love that.
Alternate.de.
We love that.
FYI.
There you go.
There you go.
I am not actually getting any computers in return. Unfortunately, we should maybe fix that.
Do they do Benki monitors? Intel,
I would hope
Intel
so.
processors?
Very well done,
Oh,
sir.
you
Very
know,
well
you
done.
know. I know the stuff.
I'm pretty sure they do, yes.
Yes, you're pretty sure they do. Okay, so we can't really show much replay, but we can talk about the teams. So CJ Entus, what are we thinking here? I've seen Monte Cristo saying, Long Panda, wow, this is a different player than we normally see in the OGN championships. He's normally been tormented by McNoon or Shy or... I mean, he's been up against some of the top laners. Seemed to deal the 2v1, seemed to handle it pretty well, considering he was unsinged.
Actually, I won't say he dealt that well. It was most probably like the super fail. I think San misplays there. He got killed by Singe. And the biggest misplay was right after.
Jungler, Insect.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. It was like they get the first blood, and then you see a wild Togath running like, I don't know, I guess he get unplug out the mouse or something. Because
pulled his mouse
it was
out.
really
Yeah.
strange
Carry on
what he
walking.
was doing. He was going like the completely wrong way from tower.
We looked
and
at it
he, he died there.
We looked at it again in replay. I was like, look at it. Explain to me.
we couldn't
what is
understand
happening.
what
Yeah.
happened.
Well, I mean, if you're not sure of the desks, they have these awesome USB slots they can just plug into. So maybe Long Panda just reached over and went, you're dead. Pulled his port out.
teamwork.
Just like, looks like I'm off. See ya.
in Spain we do it. In Spain we
Of
do it
course
just
we
for,
do.
There's
for a
people
lot.
that do
Yeah.
it. They would be
So
laughing.
one thing I want to say is one prediction of ours that didn't come true that really surprised me was that both Ara and myself predicted mobility boots on Evelyn. And
Yep.
we really wanted to
Didn't
see
so.
that Evelyn having an effect on the other lanes.
Almost
And
a counter to Twisted Fate as well, to get in
Exactly,
there
yeah.
to try and keep
And
up with him.
A, not only did Furl not get the mobility boots, but rather go for sword boots. B, the one time he went for bot lane, it was the world's least sneaky gank. Honestly, he should be in the Guinness Book of
strolling
Records.
down.
By the way, I am not going bot. It was so obvious.
I feel like casting with two trolls, like real trolls. I have one guy just trolling me. I have one guy trolling the team.
But the funny thing is, we're the trolls, but you live under a bridge.
Oh, burn. But, I mean, Jason mentioned it. Well, it was a bit strange that there was no awards for Twisted
Yeah,
Fate as well in
exactly,
the mid. Obviously we saw it. You guys have all been loving it on the Reddit post, by the way. The SK Telecom mid laner, mightily
Yes.
ultimate down. What you actually didn't see on the stream was X-Peke spinning to win,
Yes.
literally on top of him while he ulted down to that bottom
That
lane.
gif-
And
that
it
gif
came
is-
down.
that gif is perfect.
And Rage just said, thanks.
It's
I
all
love
the
that
time,
kill.
all the time. The GIF is perfect. But I want to talk about other stuff. We always see this kind of strategy from CLD. I was going to say Asubo Frost. Also, right after CLD took that strategy, it was when you do blue buff, for example, and you do the swap lanes,
Yes,
and
we
you
talked about
send
this
the
at the
two
start.
guys top lane. There is one strategy really easy to do, and almost like every team does. It's you do the blue buff. At this case, it was Malphite doing the blue buff, and then he teleport bottom. Lee Sin doing the red buff. Then you can right after invade enemy red buff because they had a ward.
It did have the ward,
They had the red buff warded, so Cho'Gath started blue buff. And if right after...
And they also had a 2v1
had the
at
two
top.
people top.
Yes, they had a
so
three-man
it was
advantage.
like perfect. It was a dream. A dream become truth. It was like Lee Sin just needed to go to enemy red buff. Top lane needed to back up that Lee Sin. Mid lane can back up as well. And then you have a 4v3 in the enemy red buff with Lee Sin. You are the strongest level 2 champion in jungler, let's say. So it's so easy to steal enemy red buff. I actually don't know why didn't Alternate do that. Because I thought that. I was calling, okay, they're putting a red buff ward. They're going to do this, but then suddenly I saw like Lee Sin doing red buff and then bottom jungle.
The reason, once again, is of course that they are a team of solo queue heroes. They're not one team, because this kind of call needs to come from a shot
team
caller,
leader,
from somebody who says,
why else would you ward the red buff? Why else would you do it? You warded the red buff.
I don't know
there.
then. That's the main
But I
problem.
mean, you think he's passionate about it now. You should have heard him when,
he
when
was
it was
loud.
happening. We thought he was actually going to go up and
He's
go tell them
he's
on the
trolling
stage
again.
and say, why? No, you were loud.
He was about to punch people.
You saw him at Poland. You saw him jumping up and cheering. He was about that level. I thought Carney next door was going to get interrupted on the German stream. I thought you were going to go in, yell down the microphone. Why are you not doing this?
It's true. It's true.
I have to do that next time. Next time something's going wrong, I will just wake up, go to the stage and say, why the hell is Alternate not doing this?
What are you doing? I don't know why you go all Italian, maybe. Eh?
That was actually Korean accent.
Is it Korean?
That was, what are you doing? Can you repeat it?
No, I was
Can
thinking
we
more of
dial
Italian.
down the racism
Italian
maybe
again.
a little bit? Yes. But anyway, yes.
Yes, but nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, we're having fun here at the analyst desk, but we do have an interview for you. So I guess we're going to see what CJ Entus have to say to Zoe.
Thank you very much, guys. That was fairly entertaining. And I do indeed have someone from CJ Entus here sitting next to me, joined by Hun, who is translating. Long Panda will answer some questions about the game. So let's start off with the pick and bans, of course. A lot of people have been wondering about what was going through your minds, as some of the lanes were quite unorthodox, to say the least. Can you explain what went through your minds?
피킹할 때 이제 좀 사람들이 보기에는 이상한 픽을 했는데 챔피언 픽을 했는데 그거에 대해서 네.
일단 상대 미드라이너 같은 경우는 한국에서 유명하기 때문에 일단 오리아나는 저격 밴으로 했고 오리아나 같은 경우에는 상대를 하기 위해서 밴했고 나머지 두 밴 같은 경우에는 한국에서는 흔히 하는 밴이기 때문에 했고 픽 같은 경우에는 그러니까 플레이어 한 명 한 명이 자신 있는 챔피언을 픽했습니다.
He says that the bands were like very typical bands in Korea, and the champions that they pick were champions that they really like to play, so they just picked them.
All right, sounds reasonable. Did work out as well in the end. So let's talk a bit about the game itself. It's been a huge back and forth for most of it, and it looked like you guys were in the lead, gold-wise at least, throughout most of the times in the game. But still, like kill-wise, it's been a big back and forth until a certain point where you guys picked some really good team fights and made some really good trades. What was the moment where you think it actually turned the tide, where you guys felt confident to actually go in aggressively?
게임 전체적으로 봤을 때 엄청 왔다 갔다 하면서 누가 이길지 모를 정도로 이렇게 엄청 게임했었는데 언제쯤에 이제 이 게임을 이겼다 이렇게 확신을 할 수 있었는지.
일단 미드에서의 대치전에서 상대 타워를 밀려고 했잖아요. 저희가 그 상황에서 먼저 저희가 좋은 포지션을 잡고 먼저 싸움을 걸어서 이긴 후에 미드 타워를 가져가고 용까지 먹고 나서 거기서부터 저희가 이겼다고 생각하게 됐습니다.
He says that they wanted to push the mid lane and destroy the tower, and they had a very good position in a one team fight, and through this positions they could win the team fight and then get the dragons, and then of course push the turret, and so they could win the game, he thinks.
So what was your mentality going into those team fights? What was your main focus during the team fights?
제일 중요하게 생각했던 거 팀 파이트를 들어갈 때 팀 파이트를 할 때요 뭐가 제일 중요했는지.
일단 저희 팀 미드 AP 누커와 원딜 AD를 지키는 시키면서 저 또 이게 그들 서포터 해주면서 하나하나 포커싱할 수 있도록 플링이란 기술을 사용해서 그거에 가장 중점을 두었습니다.
The main focus was supporting and defending the AP in the mid lane, and so that the players could focus on the enemies.
Right, and it did work out. So one last question to you guys. A lot of the teams from Europe haven't been playing against most of all the Korean teams, so a lot of them didn't know what to expect from CJ Entus. You guys showed very well in the first game that you're able to take them on. What did you guys expect from their teams, as you haven't been able to play against them very much?
이제 CJ 엔투스 팀은 워낙 유명하고 OGN에서 이제 게임을 해가지고 많이 알잖아요, 외국 선수들이. 근데 CJ 엔투스 분들은 이제 외국 팀들을 많이 상대를 못 해봤었는데 그거에 대해서 뭐 외국 팀에 대해서 어떻게 생각하는지.
일단 외국 팀 같은 경우에도 다들 강한 팀으로 생각하고 있고 저희도 사실 거의 처음 외국에 나와서 경기를 하기 때문에 일단 좋은 경험을 쌓는다는 의미를 첫 번째로 가지고 있지만 이기면 또 좋기 때문에 우승 목표로 하고 있습니다.
He thinks every one of the European teams and the foreign teams are very, very good, and he thinks it's a very good experience for them to come to this big event and play against them. And but in the end, he wants to really win this event, IEM, and go home with a big prize.
That sounds like a great idea. So good luck with that. Give it up once more for the guys from CJ Entus. And before we're going to head over to a quick commercial break, we are actually going to check out a little bit of a highlight video of the IEM in Cologne at the Gamescom, which is pretty much where the season of this year's IEM started. So check that one out. Afterwards, a quick commercial break, and then we're going to be back with the community talk.